Early June at the village of Eastbridge in Suffolk, on the doorstep of the RSPB MINSMERE Reserve.
This morning there's a lot of cloud around, particularly across the central parts of the UK, eastern and some northern areas. You can see nicely on the satellite picture where we do have the sunshine. Now the cloud will continue to edge towards Wales and South West
We've
England
booked in for a few nights on this small caravan site owned by the Eelfoot Inn. The weather forecast is poor for the next few days in Suffolk, with overcast skies and a cold east wind blowing in off the North Sea. Whilst the rest of the country basks in warm sunshine and clear skies, we are going to make the best of it and spend a few days in the reserve. At least there's plenty to see and do, even though we are not fanatical bird watchers. We feel a bit of a connection with the RSPB reserves because in 2012 Professor Steve Ormrod was appointed chair of the RSPB Council. We've known Steve since he was a young boy, and in his younger days his father and myself introduced him to the many aspects of nature on our doorstep or a little further afield. So perhaps through those early years I've had some influence on his career as Professor of Ecology at Cardiff University. So now a few words from Steve himself.
And it just so happened my father, who was an engineer, worked in motor engineering, had an apprentice who was an extremely keen countryman, and my dad and he would take me out and show me salmon running and jumping up the River Ribble, spawning in different tributaries of the River Ribble, and that was to me my kind of point of entry into rivers. The critical thing that we've all got to realise increasingly is that it is in fact nature that keeps us alive. There is no life without the wildlife on which we all depend.
Steve has been influential in rebranding the RSPB to a wider, more diverse organisation, with a new logo and slogan giving nature a home, which is inspiring the younger generation to engage and interact with nature. The BBC Springwatch are back for the third year, but the miles of cabling are mostly hidden, giving little evidence that the filming crews are up and about in various locations on the reserve. Because of Springwatch transmitting the programme live each evening, the reserve is much busier than normal, and with the unseasonable cold weather, the hides are full of visitors, most of them sheltering from the cold overcast weather.
You know, you get this Springwatch effect, and that probably lasts the rest of the summer. So yeah, there's definite increase in numbers of people coming, that's for sure. And it's nice to see the kids getting involved as well. Very nice.
What's that in the new tires? What's that? Dad, what's that?
This is what happens when a black-backed gull comes along and takes your kids.
Mid-afternoon, and the final features are being shot for the evening transmission.
Geocasting newcomer here in the UK. They first bred in Britain in 1996.
Around the tail of the studio, Jim, over to
Back at the outside broadcast village, it's the final countdown for the editing and running order for the evening's transmission.
Esther, can you record two really briefly?
Well, my great-grandfather moved here in 1883.
It's up close and personal with the wildlife, first on BBC Two for the welcome return of Springwatch.
As this chilly evening creeps into the Suffolk woodland, one of Britain's most diabolical avian predators sits quietly on her nest. What a bird! That can only mean one thing. Welcome to Springwatch. hello and welcome to Springwatch 2016, coming to you for the third year running from the fabulous RSPB MINSMERE Reserve here in Suffolk. We're live tonight and for the rest of the week and for the 2 following weeks, so do stay with us, because I can promise you, and I know I've said this before, but I've never heard it down.
The first transmission of the series went without a hitch, so the BBC production and technical teams celebrate the evening's success down at the Alefoot Inn next to our campsite. The next day, and we are back on the reserve again.
I was following along the last thing it was a business.
The young generation have some extremely passionate nature enthusiasts. Take this young teenager. He's saved up all his birthday, Christmas and pocket money for the last 3 years to buy this expensive camera outfit, and he certainly knows his subject. And another young enthusiast was on our site.
Hello, I'm Rose, and I've been at the RSPB Nature Reserve for a week or so now, and I've seen lots of wildlife. This is my nature diary. I log all the wildlife and nature I see all through the summer. Here's some examples. Last night when I was in the pub, I saw Michaela Strachan. I asked her to sign my bird book, and she did. It really made my day. When I grow up, I'd like to have a job connected with nature, maybe at our RSPB reserve.
The Minsmere shoreline consists of a narrow shingle beach and an area of sandhills. The grazing of animals is used throughout the reserve to prevent the expansion of scrubland, and this is kept under control by these Polish conic horses. The sand martins nest in the old quarry cliffs next to the visitor centre, which is open from 9 till 5 o'clock. So have a chat with the volunteers and staff. Then treat yourself in the well-stocked shop before enjoying a meal using local Suffolk produce in the cafe. The changing policies of the RSPB on the reserve, together with the BBC Springwatch programmes from Minsmere, look encouraging, because inspiring the young generations is incredibly important for the future of wildlife and birds in our country and all around the world.